have to do it again? I hope not. Okay,
Should be the.
any additions or deletions to the agenda?
No.
Any public comment?
Should be a resolution.
No, good. Presentations, we're gonna have the GHS ASB team again, come up and give us some rah news.
Hi, ladies.
Guys, my name's Jaylee Dill and I'm the ASB president.
I'm Michaela and I'm the ASB social media director.
Right now, what just happened was our basketball team went to state and they placed 6th overall in the 2A. And then our unified basketball team also went to state and we placed 3rd.
Yeah.
And then all of our spring sports started last Monday. That's track, soccer, boys soccer, tennis, baseball, and fast pitch. And then we're doing secret acts of kindness for
Classified staff week.
yeah, classified staff week. We're doing teacher appreciation, like secret acts of kindness. So we picked 8 teachers this week and we're gonna go give them secret acts of kindness, like secret gifts without them knowing, so they'll be surprised.
Yeah. And then last month we did our Black History Month. We did a bunch of projects and like student involvement activities. I feel like that went really well. And now we're planning our Spread the Word to End the Word, which will be next week. And that's like ending like discrimination against people with disabilities. So yeah, that's pretty much all that's going on right now. And soccer's playing tonight, so that's where we're going.
Awesome,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheer loud.
Yeah.
Okay, next we're gonna have I think it's you, right, Brad?
Yes, so tonight we're going to discuss the asset preservation program. And Gary Wedge from Loop Pearl Architects. Is it Loop Pearl Wedge Architects?
Oh, I'm
Yep.
sorry. Hey, I'm sorry. I already failed.
Gee,
I forgot to approve the agenda. I'm sorry. No, I asked if there was addition or deletions to the agenda.
Yeah, I don't think we have to approve
What does it mean?
Any additions or deletions to the agenda? There wasn't any. So
That's what she
it.
means. Okay.
Okay, so I did
it.
okay.
You're not used to how Sabrina
I
does things.
just did a little different. It's okay.
Sorry, we're good. We're good. Next.
And then also in the room, we have in the back here, Bryce Storm, who is our new director of maintenance. And you've met Kevin also. Omta is also out of the facilities department. They're both here, all part of this project. Gary came down and do the 6-year evaluation we're required to do. And so he's here to present that part of it. And he'll be back in
2029, so I'm required to certify every 6 years. You are required to report annually for the first 5 years, and then I come back 6 years, make sure you guys have been reporting annually, and then recertify again. So I won't need to come back until 2029.
Then will it be you?
Will it
Will
be
it
me?
be you in 2020?
Probably,
Okay.
yeah. So I still have some of the little ones at home, so I probably won't retire yet. So I at least have 12 more years.
but he'll also be back for.
I'm younger than I look.
But you'll be back in about a month once you put a study and survey.
Yeah, so this isn't the last time you'll see me. This is part of it is, like Brad said, doing the building evaluations and conditions on your buildings. I've done all your buildings, but what we're doing tonight is just the ones required by OSPI that are part of your APP, which is Asset Preservation Program. And you can see them, so we'll start on the cover there. On the slideshow, there's only 3 buildings that you're required each year to report the condition of them, and that's the high school, Harriet Thompson, and McCool. And Brad and I found out that's just new buildings, new construction. Whenever the state gives you money for new construction, they want to make sure you're being a good fiduciary of their asset that they provide with, and making sure you're keeping them to the ratings at least that they would like you to have them at. So I know we've done modernizations about that same time. We've done other modular building, like the 300 building, the 400 building, 600 building, the middle school and the Smith Elementary. Those are not required to be in the APB, but still every 6 years, you also rate those buildings as part of the study and survey update. So let's go next slide. I'm Gary Welch with Hootsboro Welch Architects. I was certified, I think it says on there, probably 2013. So I've been doing this for a while. I gotta commend your maintenance staff there, because when I was trained, I thought I was given a top secret document. And they gave me a rating, a sample document that they still stamp sample on there. You know, said, don't hand this out to everybody, but this is where we want you to make sure these districts are keeping their buildings based on age. And later on, they published a final one, and I never went back and looked if there was a difference between the final and the sample one that they gave us when we trained us 2013. There was a difference. So when you got to 30 years and your maintenance staff actually picked that up, and I've been doing this, like I said, for 10 plus years now. So I've been rating all the buildings way lower, especially when they approach 24 to 30 years. At my sample document, it said you're supposed to be about 42%. On the final published one, it says after about 30 years, you should be about 60%, 62%. Big difference between 62%, 42%. And I struggled when buildings came up to about their next eligibility for maintenance to rate those buildings, from 60 down to about 40, because I didn't want districts to lose out on eligibility. And what that does is if you aren't keeping the buildings where they are and OSPI doesn't get enough money and too many schools do construction, you go to a priority list. And so the buildings that have the higher rating at 60 go to the bottom of the list. The ones that are at 42 go to the top of the list. So that's why I always struggled when we approach 30 years to tell people this is not a reflection of your maintenance staff. This is really where OSPI expects you to be, because they use this as a tool to lobby for more money from legislature. So with that said, to be a round of applause for the maintenance staff, we're actually looking at the documents that I produce or send out, which is fantastic. So I even learned something after doing this for 10 years. So what is, for board members that don't know, the APP? It's a systematic rating of your buildings, and it's through components. There's different components like the exterior shell, the roof envelope, the HVAC system, interior, like furnishings, walls, flooring. There's all kinds of different components. And if you want to see what we rated together, maintenance staff and myself, those are in the very back of your handout. All of the buildings, you'll see all those systematic ratings. So could you go to the next slide? Oh, sorry, Brad, come on. I had a long diatribe there, so I'm trying to get back on my time schedule for you guys. So as I mentioned there's 6 major categories there: the exterior building envelope, the interior building, the condition, mechanical systems. You can go ahead and flip to the next slide if you want. We rate those from basically 5 different categories. You either give it excellent, good, fair, poor, or unsatisfactory. They don't really break it down any more than that. So it's really kind of it really moves a lot. It's when you start getting from good to fair and from fair to poor. And then anytime you list anything beyond fair, like poor or unsatisfactory, you have to write your comments why and what kind of corrective action you're going to do. So let's use an example: roofing at about 30 years. Roofing's only supposed to go, shingle roof's only supposed to go 20 years. It goes 30, you're lucky. So as you start getting towards roofing and you mark that down as poor, they kind of want you to say, well, if we have funds or if funds become available, if we have any money left over, we're going to look at replacing our oldest roof first, systematically go through. So just little things like that. So next slide. This is an example, and you'll see all the buildings in your AP you rated. I just put one page in there, but you'll see like the Grandview High School, and I don't need to walk up there if I just move to a slide myself there too. Like example, Grandview High School, that's a 4-year-old building, so you can see we rated that at 96.88. And that's right where it needs to be. You can see the historical tracking record too in those documents too. So each year as your maintenance staff reports it, you'll see it went from 100% to 96.88 to 96.88, and it should systematically start going down as the building gets older. Now, the next slide is a slide that was published finally by OSPI, And I give this to you guys as a guide, so as board members, and you know your building is, let's say, 4 years old. That should be about a 95%. So you can see we're at a 96.88. So we're right where we need to be, plus or minus a point. So as they report, or if other maintenance staff come and go, if you're still on the board, you can kind of say, well, if we have a building that's 24 years old, I should expect that to be somewhere around the 71%. And then as you get towards 30 years and you're eligible for your next modernization or new construction assistance, your building should be somewhere close to about a 62%. So I'd say use this as a guide, and as maintenance, if maintenance turns over, this could also be a tool for them as they evaluate the building's end. Next slide. So, as you see at the very beginning of my handout, Brad has later on a packet, which is a resolution. And it just has on there the 3 buildings that we have rated. And I'll tell you what we rated the buildings here on the next slide. But we're required every year before April 1, I believe. For April 1, every year before April 1, OSPI wants all the school districts to basically upload ICOs their APP resolution. Now, it doesn't have to be a resolution. Brad and I discussed that. It can be meeting minutes. But then usually you have to approve the following meeting minutes, approving those meeting minutes. So you can either do it by meeting minutes, but I just found it easier to do a resolution. Well, then it's just done. So what we rated those buildings now, and you'll see on the next slide, is the ones in yellow. The ones in yellow are your APP buildings. And the other buildings that are there, like we mentioned, Smith Elementary School, from the main building to the 85 addition to the 300 modular, all those, we went ahead and rated those as well. You'll see me come back and report on those as part of the study and survey update. So this will be a document that we'll also use in the study and survey update. But McClure Elementary is about a 65%. So it's good. Thompson Elementary is about 57%. So that 57 is
67.
67. And then Grandview High School, like we mentioned, is 96.88. So those are the only 3 that are in the resolution today to be reported and uploaded to OSPI. Next slide.
And the other packet has one that's easier to read.
Yeah. And this one here, I did it big and bold, so people like me that need the cheaters, I don't have to do the cheaters here. So here you can see it's 96.88 for high school. Harry Thompson 67.31. And the McClure 69.94. And if you look back, I also put the ages next to it: 5 years old, 24 years old, 23 years old. So if you go back to that sheet that I told you is your kind of guide now from OSPI, those should be plus or minus a percentage, either plus or minus. And as you approach 30 years, I would like you to be on the lower percentage, so that if there ever is a priority system, Grandview's first in line versus going to the priority waiting list. And that has happened twice in my 30 years. We did a modernization, wasn't enough funds, and we had to wait another year before we got our funds.
So just a clarifying point really quick. Harry Thompson was finished in 2002, as an example, and then actually, I'm gonna jump to McClure because I found that first one in this packet here. You notice that it says board accepted on 5/4 of 24. And so that's a date the state will use for a 30-year ticker. The 30-year ticker starts when the school board approved them. Same thing you notice, and we talked about this earlier, about the high school being approved like a year and a half after we're already in the building. And that's because we had to wait for some of those, the last few items be checked off the list, be fixed, those type of things. So the board doesn't approve them the minute you move in, which is sad. So we're hoping the state, by the time the 30 years rolls around, they modify that to say, wait a minute, when did you really move in? When did you take occupancy would be better. And they're hearing that throughout the whole state, so.
And they're not, their big push is actually, we have to have a resolution. We have to upload and provide documentation, because now, instead of having, we used to always, hey, we have substantial completion. That's when we occupied the building for its intended use. We're not gonna say it's accepted and let the contractor off the hook till he gets all the corrective things done. Well, OSPI looks at it just differently. If they can gain 2 or 3 more years of not giving out your next 30-year, eligibility, they want to pick up 3 more years keep the money in their own coffers, and so they're going by the actual board resolution accepting the project as complete. And usually that's part of your whole D11 and your final closeout document. So, some of the dates in here, rest assured that we'll be working with Mark Brown, which is our Eastern Washington Regional Coordinator, to make sure it's corrected. Some of the things in there, only they can change. So even if I wanted to go in there and change it to whatever Brad date that Brad wants, I don't have that ability. I have to actually go call up and beg and plead and talk to Mark Brown and see if we don't have a board resolution. Maybe we didn't do one because it wasn't state assistance, but most of the state assistance one have to go through the D process, and there is a board resolution at the very end. So that's usually the date. So unfortunately, yeah. And then I just wanted to clarify here, this says and every 6 years, so how I read this and how I've been taught over the last 13 years is you report annually and every 6 years. Means I come every 6th year and certify it as a certified PCA consultant. But annually, you guys are supposed to be doing this and uploading this for the 5 years prior to me coming back. So you will see on your resolution, and you will see on the document there that it says it's been certified and you're good till 2029. But I still think you need to do it for the next subsequent years until 2029, and then it might be that. With that, is there any questions?
And the board will take action on a new business to approve the resolution. So if you have any questions on the resolution, Mary's right here that you can ask a few questions, then they'll be heading into an executive session, and we more than likely will release a few people here. So,
Not
Yeah.
you.
so do you have any questions on the presentation or even the resolution? It is it's a boilerplate. It's one that Gary had sent us. We modified a little bit on the bottom here, Gary, to add in the buildings at the bottom also. You've seen that, so.
Yes. Yeah, the template I got right directly from the OSCI website, they give you a little template for your APT resolutions. Really, all I do is change the school district. And ask you to put it on letterhead, just because it looks nicer.
Perfect. Anything else? Awesome. Thank you.
All right.
Thank
if
you.
when
Thank
approved,
you.
just please forward that to me and I will help you get that uploaded and you'll be in compliance. Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Bryce. Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, we're gonna recess the regular board meeting and go into executive session with 10 minutes, which
Did
hopefully
you,
will last 10
did you
minutes.
pause the recording?
Did you pause it?
You had
We can't fire you, Gene, so don't worry about that.
But we're gonna help you along, okay?
Usually it tells us,
you got
doesn't
the
it?
volume on.
Oh, that's all right. Okay, we're gonna move on to the consent agenda. I'd like to call for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The GHS spring master schedule.
Make a motion to approve the GHS Spring Master Schedule.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Set date and time for a budget work session.
When would you like to have them? April?
I don't want to have any more at all, but that's beside the point.
Legislature should finish up, they are required to finish up on March 12th unless they get an extension. And so I started already working on the projections for enrollment and have some other staffies. So I want to put on the board agenda right now to make sure that your thinking process here. If you want it at the end of March, you want to start them in April. Just have a
So,
couple. So
The other, do you guys want to try to have these before our meetings? Does that work to have one at 5? Or do you want to have it a whole separate night? Evening?
We have 2 new board members. Trey didn't go through the budget with us last year, did he? Or this year, because he got appointed when?
I thought he was here for some reason.
He was here
Here.
for some of it.
For some of
I
it.
think he was for some, but I don't remember that for a fact.
Okay.
But
Elena, how do you feel comfort wise with budgets and things like
I feel
that?
good.
Okay.
I think with your onboarding, it really explained a lot of how they come up with the budget and how that works and stuff, which is, you know, a lot of the key stuff, so.
Yeah,
But-
I mean, if
I've
Trey,
looked up 100 times.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, if Trey feels comfortable, I think we can do it before a meeting. You know, I would just be conscientious of if he needs that additional time to kind of go through the background.
Well, he was here through part of it because he had the first week of May, he had to
Oh, yeah.
sign up to run. So he was already on the board in that
You're
point.
right.
So Brad, how many budget study sessions do you want to have?
If I talk really fast, one.
Mhm.
Well, how many would you like to have? I think we can, I'm asking if we could expedite through, we do the enrollment, some staffing things really quick. And we could move through it fairly rapidly if you think two, they're only 45 minutes because we try to make it for an hour, but we try to finish by 5:45
Right.
if that's what we use.
Why don't we
So,
try to have one before a meeting and then let's try to schedule, we need to have another little training session with ourselves. And maybe we have a little bit of it prior to that. Cause we haven't even gone over any of our policies like we talked about doing and different things like
Yeah.
that, so. I think I would like to bring up some dates at the next meeting. Let's find a session for the board to meet and maybe we can do a small thing with Brad during that and kind of kill two birds with one stone at the same time. So what do you think? So do you want to do this the first meeting in April? Let's do one before the meeting and then we'll schedule a training time for the board later on.
So April
Yeah.
14th.
April 14th.
No.
That works. Does
What
that
do you
work,
guys
Heather?
think? She's checking her schedule.
I think so. Right now, it looks like it does. So let me put that on there so I have it.
So do we have a motion to at least set this one up for?
Make a motion, we do our first budget study session at 5 o'clock on April 14th.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye,
Opposed? Okay, motion carries.
So
Let's
it'd be
call-
6, right?
yeah.
Like to call for a motion to approve the resolution 10.
Make a motion, we approve resolution 10 for asset preservation program.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Superintendent's evaluation. What it is, just so you know, it's just the only thing changed to the contract is we're adding 1 year to the date.
Make a motion, we approve the superintendent evaluation.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Oh, I didn't know this was on here twice. I'm sorry. That's my fault. Now you have one that'd like to call for the motion to approve the extension of the superintendent contract. I'm sorry about that. I thought they were one.
There is a difference, yeah.
I make a motion for the extension of the superintendent contract.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nice step with me.
Oh, don't worry. If we can afford it, we could get rid of you. We can't, so you're stuck with us. Okay, now Brad, would like to call for a motion to approve the purchases of 483 computers for grades 6 through 12, approximate value $299,594.34.
You know what's interesting? I learned from Jesse that these prices fluctuate like gas does.
Well, I'm sure.
Like he gets
Interesting.
calls from the vendors, hey, we went up 5%, hey, it went down 6%, like that, like sort of short.
I've never heard them go
up.
down. It's always up.
Yeah, it's crazy how quickly these fluctuate.
Well, I was surprised during COVID. Remember, they had some type of metal that's a part of the battery and all of that, that it was making it difficult for electronics in general. So I wonder if that has anything to do with that and what's going on with globally right now.
The silver price going up and down affects it because there's silver in circuit boards.
and they're building all the new computers, servers for AI.
Yeah.
And so that's eating up all the memory chips.
All right, I move to approve purchase of 483 computers for grades 6 through 12 at approximately $299,594.34.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, Rob, you can give us your report now.
Okay. Just so kind of what the girls said earlier, our unified basketball team got third in state, which was awesome. Boys got sixth in state, and my sons were like, well, sixth or fourth, it doesn't really matter, does it? I said, no, you lose to get sixth, you win to get fourth.
A lot of truth in that.
We were flabbergasted, to say the least, for the last
I'm
minute and
with
a
you.
half. It was just shocking that they lost that one.
Brutal 2 minutes.
And I sent you a video of the GMS inaugural cornhole tournament. no matter how badly he tried not to, Jose was out there throwing bags at one point. Because he was showing them to the lady who runs the
Special
eastern part of the state of Special Olympics, so she was there, the executive director, thought it was cool. And of course, he just dominated, he was shoving kids out of the way and throwing stuff. Believe it or not, our final trimester of the school year is underway. Yeah, today was day 3, I believe, the trimester. There's been quite a few news articles about the school site grant, and yesterday I did an interview with KNDU local news. And we pulled Jose out of his office, Jose Espindola, our newest school psych, who's probably our quietest school psych. And so if you watch the interview, he says like 5 words. He was in here and I got some good footage of their plaque and stuff behind the scenes, but yeah, he was a little bit nervous. And also, just so you're aware, this morning, Dyke Dickey, I walked through the high school with Derek, saw 3 high school history classes. That was one of the things he wanted to know more about. Went and visited the pharmacy, the pre-pharmacy course, the anatomy physiology course, showed off Urquhart's program, showed off the high school a little bit. He was really impressed. So it was a good visit. He asked a lot of good questions and he said, "This is really impressive. You guys do a lot of great stuff here." I was like, "Yeah, we do." And because he's kind of the old school mindset where we should be teaching specifically some certain things. And I think he saw that there's a lot more awareness and multiple perspectives coming on in history classes. He kind of thought everything was going to come from a one-sided perspective, and he even challenged Elise a little bit on her perspective for the teaching some stuff about World War I and the overtaking of property and countries and such, and she pushed back a little bit on it. And he's like, "Oh, I never thought of it was not perspective." So that was good. And then I have a list of all the upcoming events. Board meeting on the 24th. One thing that I want to put on your radar, on May 19th, every year we have the South Central Regional WASA Awards Night. And Chuck and I went a couple years ago. It was at the golf course. Last year, I don't think I even invited any board members.
Yes, Shelby and I
You and
went.
Shelby went because
Yeah,
Shelby
the Rotary got
Rotary
that.
Award. We do. So if any of you would want to go, let me know. I don't know when. I don't know where it's going to be yet. It'll be the 19th of May. It'll be in Yakima area somewhere. Probably 6 o'clock, 6 to 8 or so. And then it'll be a chance where we recognize some winners from our region, and then each district has a chance to nominate and recognize a student leadership award, which goes to a student, and then a community leadership award who's providing some good support for the community. We've received a couple nominations for Juan Salazar, the gentleman that volunteers at the Triplex for welding.
Oh, yeah,
rehearsal
yeah, yeah.
program. He came to our coffee at the soup the other night. We had a really good conversation with him, and he's doing a lot for the program. And both Mesa and
Pettis
the Triplex,
Anthony
Ramirez. They both give glowing. They say this guy would be awesome for us to be able to recognize him. He's there all the time. If you ever see his Corvette or his Harley out front, when he shows up, he's doing some of the skill testing with the students. He's a former welder by trade and a metal worker by trade, and he just wants to help out and volunteer his time. He's a reformed Sunnyside guy, so we washed that out of him. So now he's back with us. But
And
We're-
went to school with him.
yeah,
One son.
we're still working on who our student nomination is going to be, or students. I'm going to be Derek and his team. I'm kind of giving me some names for that, but I think it'd be a great opportunity for us to recognize some of our community members. And so I'll get some more information for you later, but see if you put that on your radar if you want to attend. And that's no student event report.
When's Mariachi State?
They already had it. Mark State.
It's in Ellensburg. I thought it was in,
like April something.
That's because you're right. They had just the initial adjudications. I will find that
I
out.
think I talked my wife into going on a road trip for that, so,
Nice.
but I can't remember when it is. You told us at one time and I can't remember.
Yeah, I'll find out. Forgot.
Anything else? Any other questions? Okay, we're gonna move on to the board assessment.
Got a couple more to go.
Okay, well, let's go to from the board. I have a couple things from the board. I did go to the Unified. Our grandkids, it was a heck of a day. We left at 6:30 in the morning, got home at 7:30 at night. My nephew was actually playing in the Special Olympics up at the high school. So we bounced back and forth, and they actually had Special Olympics cheer going on at the same time. So that was in one of the gyms at Eastmont, and then the Special Olympics basketball was in the other one, and Unified was over in they have a junior high. Nice school. So we got to see a bunch of that for the day, and that was pretty neat. My grandkids were quite they really liked it actually, and talked to everybody and had a good time. One thing I want to share is Mr. Dickey that came to our last meeting. I know you weren't here. Were you here? Okay, he came and we had a lot of students here, and he brought up a concern about who was liable for the kids that went out and did the protest in town. And he was just concerned about, is the school liable for that? How does that work? So they asked Rob a couple questions. Of course, we can't address it, but Rob met with him, as you can see. He was very respectful and asked, just read a thing and asked some questions. I went to Unified and there was a student up there, and I'm not going to say who it was. He was at the meeting. His comment to my wife, and this, it just kind of blows my mind. His comment to my wife was, there was an old guy that came to our meeting, to the school board meeting, and I was there, and he was very concerned about the black and brown kids and what they were doing. He said nothing of the sort. He absolutely said nothing about anything about race or anything, but that was the perception that this student had. And now he's telling people. And of course, Shelby goes, well, I'm not really sure that's how it happened. And, maybe you should make sure, because, making comments like that sometimes can become, it doesn't look good. But anyway, that really caught me off. And I was kind of surprised that, and because one, I was at the meeting, so I knew exactly what was said. But anyway, so anyway, that kind of caught me a little off guard. But we had fun up at the Unified, and Chuck and I were just on the hiring committee for the football coach. And we had the last interview today, and they're gonna make a recommendation, and we'll let that come out and decide who they're gonna recommend. So, but I think we had a couple really good candidates for that, so hopefully it works out good. Anyway, anything else from the board?
I went to the high school choir concert, which is always interesting to see the classroom choir, I guess, versus the symphonic choir, and just watching everybody. It's really a cool deal. And the kids really,
Nice.
we have some really talented kids out there. Good stuff.
I did forget that the drama is putting on a performance this week. Is it Welcome Back, Charlie?
Charlie Brown.
Something,
something,
yeah.
yeah.
This weekend?
It's 11th, 12th, and 13th, I believe.
It starts Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be up at the high school, 7 o'clock, and 2 o'clock. And then I have before you just a draft update of the field trip policy, and then the field trip procedures are on page 2. And so I just want to hand this to you now, and then we can talk about it, discuss it at the next one. And then
You want this back, Brad? The stuff you gave us?
The policy number.
No.
20.
2320. Thank you.
I got a couple more.
Okay, anything else from the board?
I just wanted to thank the board for your understanding and approving my request for travel. I've literally been all over the state this last couple of months, getting in long hours into San Antonio and everything else, but a lot of good work happening for students outside our region.
Nice.
And so, yeah, I just wanted to thank you guys for that. It all kind of came together. And when I looked at it, like I said, I couldn't even call in during the times that our meetings were. So I appreciate you all being
It's actually good to
understanding.
know that how we can deal with that. And
Yeah.
because when Chuck and I first got on, there was a gentleman on the board that never came to a meeting.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I think we saw him twice. He would call in, but he would never show up to a meeting. But it's kind of nice that there's an option of doing something like that.
Yeah.
You just take a little, I mean, it worked out great, actually.
Yeah, but I just want to say thank you again. And yeah, it was nice to be able to know that you all were informed and things were taken care of, and we knew how to handle that from there. So thanks.
Okay, anything else before I go to the board assessment? So the board assessment, you got a couple no, I'm just kidding. Good. You have to put some in there. You can't go perfect all the time. Anyway, this is a very good assessment.
Yes, we did good still.
So we'll put that just goes in the folder. Okay, now we're gonna go to number 3. executive session number 3, and I think Jean is done now, and thank you so much for stepping
Yes,
in.
Steve, thank you.
Thank
It
you.
was nice to see
You didn't
you.
even know you were a sub for this, but now we know you're on the sub list.
Don't.
Yes. He was really hoping for Brad's budget stuff tonight. That's what.
Your forte.
I do like Brad's budget stuff. It's so fun to hear.
And thanks again for all your help with getting the word out for the levy too. I know you were doing it remotely. You're battling
Yeah,
your
thank you,
cyborg
Dean.
husband.
He still has a brace thing on.
He's got it all.